Hey guys, so welcome back to Indirect Knowledge. So in this episode, we have a very special tarot card reading, and this one is really cool. I'm really happy to do this reading because the person, and we're just going to go with the first initial because the name's a little uncommon. This is actually the second reading I'm doing for this person, but we're just going to go with the first initial E, and the person would like to know about auras and specifically theirs and what people sense about this person when this person is in their company. And when the question was posed, the first thing that came to mind, like intuitively, was the color purple for this particular individual. Now, as far as auras go, the color purple is a very spiritual color. We see that evident like in certain religious iconography. So it could be something like purple or crimson tends to have some spiritual overtones to it. Also, purple is oftentimes people with sort of like a purple aura tend to be more creative, or they tend to do professions that have something to do with creativity or something to do with like spirituality. So it's kind of like there's a flavor to it. So if you can think of colors as sort of like a flavor, I'm just trying to paint kind of a picture to give you kind of a perspective of kind of what I'm picking up here, as far as the aura goes. But these are, normally people they can be very perceptive, very psychic, intuitive. They can read people very well, empathic. So that's kind of what the aura is. So I think, and we'll do a tarot card reading here, but I think just from the energy that I pick up, that's what I am getting. And so I think when people are around you, they tend to get a sense of like something deeper, not just a surface level kind of, vibration, but that there's something more than meets the eye. It's not what you see is what you get. There's something more there. So it's kind of like a deeper kind of quality. Let's do an actual reading and just see kind of where we're at with that. Okay, so yeah. So the first card that we get is the World. The World is really coming full circle. So it has a lot to do with, once you've taken a journey and you've gotten to the end of that journey, basically it's sort of like the kind of like the way that storytellers often create narratives. There's sort of a climax. The person goes out on a journey. There's this climax, and then there's a crescendo, and then there's the coming full circle, going back to one's roots, but changed. And that's what the World really represents, is sort of like someone that has some life experience, someone that has been through some things, and they've come out changed, and so that's sort of what this represents. So it could be a situation where maybe you find yourself around people that maybe have known you in the past, and now, should you come in contact with those people again, they can sense that there's something, different about you than what there was when they knew you earlier in life. So that has a lot to do. And so it does kind of co-relate with what I was saying earlier with this color purple. It's this, in fact, you see purple like in this picture, like with the World, this covering is sort of like a representation of that. The next card that we have in our reading is the Knight of Pentacles. Now, knights are about movement. Pinnacles are about groundedness or money or materialism. But when we think of materialism, it's the things that make us feel comfortable, or like we have some kind of fixed existence, that our position is secure in life, that things are, pretty good for us. And that's what it's about: foundations, and about like setting a good, strong foundation for yourself so that you can, continue on. And so this movement is in this direction. So it could be that, like in life, maybe you've had some experiences where, just maybe that things were a little rocky, the ground was a little shaky. And so you maybe, if you've ever been, like I've known people before that had, didn't know where their next meal was going to come from, or didn't know if they were going to be without a place to live in a week. And so it was just this existence, trying to maintain this existence. But this card here is about moving in the direction of security, sort of like material security. So if you've got money, of course, you can pay for food, a place to live, take care of your basic needs, those kind of things. And so there's a sense of safety and security like within that. But this knight, he's one of the slowest moving knights. So like as far as moving in that direction, it seems to be that building this foundation of the material is not as quick as building other symbols that we see in the tarot. For example, the swords. It's more mental, and it's probably the fastest knight in the entire 78 card tarot deck. That particular knight, for example, he's just, if you see the card, he's dashing off there with a sword, not taking time to talk about things, excuse me, or take questions or anything. It's just about forward movement. And of course, the mind is represented with swords. So things in the mind can happen very quickly. But on the ground, when we're thinking about materialism, we're thinking about groundedness, earning income, doing things along this line. It's really about, it's more of a slower moving process. It's not, we can think about it all day long, as quick as that. But when it comes to actually getting results, or, doing the steps, taking the steps necessary to get a sense of security, or get a sense of what we want in life, or bringing into fruition what we desire. Excuse me, I apologize. I'm a little sleepy here. Well, then it's a little bit of a slower journey. And that's what this knight is basically representing. It's like going after what you want, but if what you want is more along the lines of material things, it can be a very bit slower process in that. So there's that side of us that it's almost like hedging our bets in a sense. Like there are people that I've known that live entirely on faith. They eschew materialism. They say they don't need anything or anyone or whatever. They say that the only thing that they need is God. They can focus only on that, and that's enough for them. And there's different gradations, in between. I mean, on one side of the polarity, we have people that are very material, and that's like their only thought ever, and that's what they chase. And then we have on the other side people that are completely spiritual, non-attached, that need absolutely nothing in this material universe to complete them. The only thing that they desire or require is their faith in God, and they expect and know that God will take care of everything for them. So they kind of eschew materialism and everything on that end. So, depending on where you're at kind of along that scale is sort of telling. And it tells you kind of like, okay, well, this is where my sense of security is, or lack thereof is. And this is where my faith is versus lack thereof is. So there's some things to ponder or to consider kind of on that level. But with this, it's about just, usually when this card comes up, it's really just about, we've kind of been there, done that. And so now it's just sort of like we're just kind of going with the flow, going with the movement, kind of, building up some sort of future for ourselves that is grounded in reality or in material day-to-day life. The last card that we have is the Three of Swords. Swords, like we talked about a minute ago, is really this energy of like the mental. It's things inside the mind. And of course, the heart is love. And we see in this picture, the three swords piercing the heart. We see rain, we see clouds. It's not a very pretty picture, actually. I mean, it looks a little bit devastating, like a broken heart, maybe, or, pierced heart, something along those lines. And in the tarot, this card is symbolized, basically, the symbology of it is to say that it's sort of like the betrayal card. It's when, we don't necessarily get what we want, when we are a little bit heartbroken. So we're, someone could cheat on someone, something along those lines. So these kind of things tend to come about. Now, in the context of this particular reading, these three cards, we have the World, we have the Knight of Pentacles, and then we have the Three of Swords. We have to take this into in the context of what the question actually is. And it all has to do with sort of like what other people think of us, or, where, like what energy are we putting off? What is our aura? What do people kind of sense about us? And here, it's that sense of kind of deeper thought. We have the Three of Swords. That's a lot about the mind. It's also about kind of the betrayal of thoughts or ideas or different things like that, or the rejection thereof. We have the Knight of Pentacles, which is about kind of chasing the dream, chasing, financial security. These are the people that plan for retirement, that very good at planning, very good at setting foundations. It's very much a Capricorn type energy. And, they're happiest in that element. And then we have the World. And the World is, we've taken the journey and we've learned a lot along the way. And now we can take what we've learned and share it with others. And so that it almost, when we're communicating with other people, that sense of like that, hey, this person is pretty wise beyond their years, or that they kind of have this, they almost exude the sense of like kind of intuitive nature, because maybe they've been there, done that before, so they can actually like share that information with you, that kind of thing. So that's kind of like where this whole thing kind of picks up. But as far as like the energy goes, like it's very psychic kind of energy, but it's grounded. But at the same time, it's sort of like otherworldly, and that's kind of like what the color purple, or the this particular aura kind of exudes. It sort of says, it's otherworldly. It's outside the realm of everyday material life. It's outside of, everyday thoughts, so it's beyond that. So that's sort of like, kind of like a higher, deeper thinking kind of thing. And so that's sort of like where the energy is kind of emanating from. And that's more or less along the lines of what I've picked up, as far as just intuitively, that I mentioned before we really got into the tarot card reading. This color purple was just really the first thing, and I kind of pick it up. I can almost see a sense of a seriousness, almost like a way of communicating in a serious kind of nature. It's more of a mature kind of nature. And I think that's what people sort of gather from you. It's sort of like they kind of intuitively know that you're pretty intelligent, or that you have some experience, and that they can't just take you for granted, that there's more than meets the eye, that kind of thing. So anyways, I hope that this helps you, for what it is. That's what I get. So, that's what I'll share with you. If you have any questions or you need anything as your tarot coach, I'm always here for you. For you guys watching, if you need spiritual direction or anything like that, I do that also. I'm sort of the spiritual director here at the Krishna House, at the ashram here, or monastery, whatever you want to call it. So I can help in those types of capacities as well. And, these are the kind of services that I do, is this tarot and that. And And then we have so many other different services and things that we do as well. So if you'd like to help us help others, you can do that. Just go to helpbydonating.com, give whatever donations in your heart, and it will be appreciated. But if you need anything, if you need a tarot reading, if you need anything, all of that information is down in the description below this video. And with that being said, I hope everyone has a really good night. I apologize for the yawns. I maybe need to get a little rest or something, but oftentimes this is when I'm most intuitive. So that's why I like to kind of postpone doing the readings until around this time of night. Things just really come to me quite easily, kind of unconsciously. And so if you like this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Also, of course, hit the bell notification. And when we come on, if you want to ask questions or something, just as long as you're a subscriber, you can get in the chat, ask some questions, and we'll be happy to do some tarot card readings for you, live while we do these live streams. So, but if you need anything, please reach out. I'm always here for you guys. Much love, many blessings. See you guys on the next episode.